Welcome back. How was death?
Who was the traitor lord?
A very strange question coming from a reanimated corpse, and one I can't answer. Well, not very well. He was a mantis who betrayed his tribe. If you want to know more, seek out the mantis named Kieran. I'd say he knows more about the traitor lord than anyone who you'd find. Though I couldn't tell you where he is now.
Would the mantis lords know?
If they'll grant you an audience, they very well should, seeing as he's their brother.
Oh, then he's dead. The mantis lords told me the infection took him.
Did they now? Ah, a shame. But seeing as he knew the traitor lord, that might just not be all of the story. Ask them what happened to him. If they granted you an audience once, they more than likely respect you enough to tell you the truth if you ask politely.
Alright, I'll go do that. Wait, hold on. What am I doing? Okay, I'm trying to learn a little bit about the traitor lord. Okay, why am I doing that? I mean, I asked the lady if I should kill him and she said don't worry about it. I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm already doing and hope it works out. Okay, well, there might be actual reasons for me to want to do something about the traitor lord. Well, regardless of what the lady said, a feral infection mantis could potentially be really bad. And it might be good for everyone if I did something about it. And if I'm not doing anything else, I might as well, right? And actually, now that I think about it, a rogue mantis that's just going fucking feral on the infection is pretty scary. I mean, these guys messed me up pretty good and they were playing defensively. But the weird thing is, I can't imagine any of these guys going rogue. And, they're kind of dangerous because of their composure. I mean, if they gave up that composure, they just, turn into a blender that... Okay, yeah, that's definitely a problem. Hey guys, what's up?
Hey, it's the little dude.
Oh, hello there. Are you here for more knowledge?
Yeah, actually.
And we can oblige. What do you wish to know?
What happened to your brother?
He was lost to the infection.
Yeah, but how?
It's a very long story, and it doesn't have a happy ending.
I think it might be important that I know.
Well, the beginning is somewhat cheery. I'd like to tell that part, if you wouldn't mind.
Say no. You'll be bored to tears.
Oh, you will not.
Yeah, I think if there's a happy part, she should tell it. She's the happy one.
That's very kind of you. To really understand our brother's role, you need to understand the political circumstances he was working within. Specifically, his career began shortly after the writing of King's Decree 8530, making all export goods only tradable through Hollandist banner caravans, meaning any goods we produce must be sold at a set price to them for export. This was meant to replace the heavily criticized Decree 3539, which forced us to do all trade in the trade district of the City of Tears by illegalizing trade in the village, which, mixed with Decree 3522, stated only Hollandist banner caravans could travel to Hollandist roads, made it so we couldn't trade any other way. They said that the new system was better because our goods would leave the kingdom, but ultimately it heavily reduced the price that we could sell goods at. And we've been struggling economically since Decree 42 generations ago that changed the currency of the kingdom to deal without a way to exchange our current currency
You see? What did I tell you? She was about to go on for hours about logistics. The story would never even start.
I cannot understand why you think logistics are boring. It is bugs, stacks, and glimpacks gathering their wares to go on adventures to mysterious places. What could possibly be boring about that?
What part of those things are the four-wordy political decrees you mentioned?
The adventure part. Who knows what sanctions will lie in your path? It's conflict, it's drama!
It's boring!
For the record, I completely agree with Gelnine here. I find logistics very interesting as well.
Thank you.
That's because you're both nerds.
Yes,
Or not.
That's right.
Guys, what does this have to do with your brother?
Oh, right. So the point is, we and Hollanders never saw eye to eye. There was always tension between us and our desired masters, but our brother Kieran was able to put a stop to the tensions. He was an extremely talented diplomat and the only mantis to receive multiple audiences with the Pale King. He and the Pale King were practically friends, and if you knew him, that might not have surprised you.
He was a very principled man, but not zealous. He had this way of making bugs see the world through his eyes. He was able to do this through his good nature. Bugs liked being around him. He made them feel as though there might be hope, even if a situation seemed hopeless.
He was a great guy. Good to his friends, good to his family. And he was a great dad.
Oh, and his daughter Kierna was such a lovely child, always full of energy like her father. And so smart. She was asking about her internal transportation infrastructure while she was still using her wings to get around. Heck, when her legs came in, she was teaching me about how hollowness worked.
She was a child of two worlds. Her parents are both mantises, but more than any mantis, she spent much of her time in Hollowness proper. Our brother would describe her as sometimes having three faces. One for her family, one for her friends in Hollownest, and one for friends here in the village.
And she wasn't a doughy City of Tears chump either. One day, she got brought back to her father by the guards. Apparently, she heard someone talking shit about our village and hit him so hard he had a crack in his shell going all the way down his face.
Oh, she was undeniably a fighter. Her friends numbered among the most elite combatants Hollowness had to offer. The ones guarding the king.
Oh, the 5 Great Knights?
Yes, that's right.
That was all before the infection.
Yes, when the first bout of the infection hit, we mantises, like several other people under the kingdom, found an immunity to it. Until the second bout.
We all thought the king had it under control. Kieran told us as much. But then it came back. That's when our brother started speaking differently.
Our brother was never much of a fighter, but eventually he got real interested in it. And battle tactics. I thought that was great. Gave us something to talk about, but he also got some very scary ideas.
It started with a need for strength in himself. When he found that, he looked to Hollownest and saw the tensions in his people growing. The people were angry with the king, and he despised them. He wanted to lead an army to slaughter those who spoke out against the king. He brought this to our parents, who were the queen and king at the time, and they rejected his wish. This built a deep rage within him. He gathered more to his cause, and he'd found a way to infect them. We don't know how. But as he gained strength in numbers and strength as a warrior, his goal changed. He saw the Pale King as a great man who'd lost his power, and that, to save the king's legacy, he would need to take control of Hollownest by force.
This time he had a plan. He had points of attack, he knew where the guard was weak. I didn't think he was serious about the first plan until he asked our parents. This one, I was sure he was serious about. He asked them again, they said no again, so he killed them in this very chamber.
He never thought they would agree to his demands. He walked into that room to kill them. The request was just an excuse to take power and to scare us into letting him.
The infection made him an idiot. When he went up to tell the rest of the tribe that he'd taken control, we each threw a spear through him. It wasn't enough to kill him, but it was enough to declare he was in charge of nothing.
So he left. He and his loyalists took any warrior who would try to stop him, broke their legs, broke their arms, and impaled them on a spike, careful to keep them alive, leaving us with a choice. Use our remaining forces to chase him, or save the mantises he'd tortured.
We chose to help our people.
And he marched across Hollownest to the Queen's Gardens, killing everyone and everything in his path. So I still don't know if it was the right choice.
And there he stays to this day, in his new Mantis Kingdom, more than likely plotting another genocide.
Oh, that seems kinda like a problem for everyone then.
It is a worry that has been on every mantis's mind since he left.
Well, then I guess I'll just need to kill him.
Kid, don't. Don't try.
Yes, he is much too strong to face in single combat.
I beat you 3.
Yeah, and I'm not ashamed to admit that the only way we beat him at all was that we hit him while his back was turned. And those wounds were the only reason we thought we could take him. They've healed by now, and he's definitely gotten stronger since. And you wouldn't be the first who died trying. I don't want your death on my conscience, too.
I mean, I'm pretty strong.
So was Kierna. She fought him with 2 companions and lost.
Yeah, at some point, dear old dad's fucking insanity probably stopped sitting right with her. So she tried to defect back to us.
We knew it would be a difficult fight, so we sent 2 of the king's knights, Zamir and Drya, to retrieve her. Nothing returned, except for a single claw ripped from Kierna's arm.
That showed all mantises what the traitor lord had truly become, and we would have them all remember it. We embalmed the claw in silver and hung it upon the rack, to remind all mantises the dangers of using the infection, and the dangers of what lies outside the village.
Oh. So then maybe I should give this back.
No, kid. Like I said, you earned it. And I don't think Karina would mind someone using it.
Yeah, but this is the symbol of something that's still a problem. So if I'm going to use it, I should probably at least try to do something about that problem. And you might be right. I might not be strong enough to fight him. But I can get stronger, and once I get strong enough, then I'll try my best.
I believe in you. It seems you've grown stronger in combat and in character since we last met. Maybe you can kill him.
It is a noble thing you try. If you're successful, the few souls that wander Hollowness would be forever indebted to you.
Be careful, though. I like you, kid. I'd like it if you didn't die.
I'll try to make sure I don't, and I'll be back when I do. Okay, just gotta get strong enough to fight the Traitor Lord, then fight the Traitor Lord. That's what I gotta do, and I feel pretty good about it, actually. I felt pretty good about leaving the Sad Lady's house, and, you know, I feel a lot better after this, too. Now I have, like, a goal. One that's difficult, but achievable, and one that's real. God, it's good to have one of those. You know, maybe I gave that old lady too much shit. I mean, she, albeit accidentally, did lead me to 2 places I wanted to go. Well, needed to go, I guess. Did she do that on purpose? No, she couldn't have, because if she did, then she would have had to have known. She could have just known that. Actually, it doesn't make any sense that she wouldn't. You knew the Traitor Lord was the Mantis' brother.
I recall something of the sort.
You also knew who was in the hole in that grave. You knew I'd talk to her, and you knew I'd want to kill the Traitor Lord.
Knew is a very strong word. I made some educated guesses, and these ones paid off. But you do want to do something about the Traitor Lord.
He seems hell-bent on killing a lot of people, so yeah, I probably should.
Ah, a sad tale as any, isn't it? The Radiance's infection is a dangerous thing in any hands, but his are practiced. Sadder still is that the Radiance's gifts were once benevolent. But that's another sad story for another time.
The what?
Ah, so no one has told you of the progenitor of the infection. Well, that's not surprising. They more than likely
Assumed I knew.
didn't know themselves. Much of the newer generation doesn't know of the beast that made the infection, as almost all mention of her has been scrubbed from the walls of Hollownest, very purposefully, as she was the god before the Pale King began his reign. When the Pale King took her children, she went mad, and that madness is the infection. The king tried to put the old moth god in a jar made of the only substance that could hold her, and then put that jar in the black egg near the top, the thing the dreamers guard. But there's been a crack in the jar for more than 20 years, and that crack is growing. The old god of Hollownest is close to ruling once again.
That's why everything's getting worse. Oh, I think I heard Sly say something about that.
If he's my age, he more than likely remembers the people talking about the Radiance's return, something that became difficult to deny.
Wait, so if all the Dreamers do is guard the jar with the Radiance in it, why do they care about me?
They think you might want to open the jar.
That doesn't sound like something I want to do. That sounds like a pretty bad idea.
Ah, then they have nothing to worry about. But you have something to worry about. The Traitor Lord. You shouldn't try to fight him yet. East of here is Kingdom's Edge. There's an arena there that might be good for sharpening your nail.
Alright, I'll go check that out. Wait, one more thing. I heard the king killed a lot of children? What part of the story is that?
What do you think the jar is made of?
I would never have guessed thousands of dead children before this very second.
It is more or less made out of thousands of dead children, yes.
Horrifying. I'm gonna go look for the Colosseum.
Take the scenic route. Not that I need to tell you, but you might find other useful things on the way.
Yeah, thanks. Well, she said head east, and this way's east. You know, I actually haven't really explored around this area of the City of Tears. I should get back to it. And I should also probably get that key from the Crystal Peaks. There are a lot of things I want to do, but I do kind of want to go to a new area. It's been a while since I've really explored one of those. I'm actually really excited. Well, can't say that the corpses falling from the sky aren't gloomy. But I guess it wouldn't be Hollownest without a lot of gloom, huh?